Hi everybody, it's Phil here. I'm just come back home, and at home I'm considering just to get some of the painting done, which I will do. At the moment, I'm just chilling, drinking some tea, and contemplating looking at some of the films that I've been cataloguing. It's not such a dull thing to go over. What I do enjoy is perhaps just sort of seeing what I have watched, looking at it in different ways, perhaps what people wrote about films themselves. Had a greatish day in a sense. I was involved in chatting to some people who were soldering as well as me, and I enjoyed my gym training session. Back training today. Seem to have got quite tanned, which is like, whoa, super tan. Been still considering what it is I want to do with this sculpture, but really it's quite easy, you just get on with it. And I cannot feel that what I would produce would never be ever completely great, but it is obviously going to get done. That's it, simply it. So now I went to the exhibition at Fabrica, which was really nice. I talked to two women there. One was talking about her ambitions with art, her feel for fine art and something like that. I don't really know who she was, and I don't wish to divulge into someone else's life and to explain away something that was meant to be confidential to her means and her respects. I do feel that having sort of listened whilst I keep saying whilst all the time, like a little pig will come up, whilst I was doing this, and whilst I was doing that. Actually, just being nosy was kind of worthwhile, really, because I was able to read that flyer in about 3 seconds flat, so 10 seconds it took for me to just pretend I was a suave artist who needed some reclining nature to attend to those devoted in their sublime ways too. I sat there and chatted to an art historian girl. Um, yeah, I was happy to be there and to have a little discussion and say how interesting it was to look at that marble look of the templates. There were 4 templates in diagonal symmetry, and they were relating sort of, I'll explain it with my hand showing. There was sort of squares like that, sort of opposite each other, and up there too. And anyway, the patterns were worth commenting on. So as I sat there, I had a little conversation, and I felt it was a bit like being in a cinema, you know. Shh, should anyone say a thing? Is it allowable? Hey, can I be telling you this? Is it alright? Or am I gonna get people going, shh, don't talk? You're meant to be quiet. Of which I thought to myself, hang on a minute. Respectfully, I shan't be going, well, it's interesting, isn't it? I'll just talk really loud and say, that is great. Looks like spam. Looks like scrambled egg, yeah. No, I said it in a slightly listful and humble and trundling format. I said it like a person who sounds like slightly hippie-ish. Well, man, respectfully, I find that there is a need to respectfully reflect on the objects across from me. Was very divine just to see what those images were doing per second, per time format. The color changes were magnificent. Yes, and I took a picture and sent a picture through the emailing, texting thing, and that was given to a friend of mine called Lani, and she got it. I must say, if I'd kept my X71 or whatever it was, the N72 or a special kind of mobile, which I got from my brain is not working. This is the problem, you see. This is the thing. As you come off alcohol, you find your brain in treacle mode. It's really not good. And it could be, as someone said to me, something to do with springtime. Well, I think that I was trying to explain that hopefully this year I should get another mobile. If I do, I shall be able to take photos again of things like that. Zooming in quite respectfully. The whole megapixel business will be a lot more satisfying. And I find myself thinking, of course, that should give me some joy, and involved with such luxury items. If I have them, I know that I'm still going to find myself at base and at most happiness, just running about, playing football, running, being with people, joy of communication, of being liberated by one's humor and emancipation, the passion, reading, these simple things will keep me joyful. Opening up people's imagination with literary ideas. So, again, I've gone off board. Got another book from the library today, which is about Somalia, and part of me was worried that I couldn't quite understand some of the politics involved in it. But again, on reflection, scanning through the book, I shall just simply read it for the purposes of understanding Somalia's problems without the bias of the BBC, perhaps. The journalists, maybe certain kinds of journalists who write a book that isn't edited in such a way as the respectful public to not get a clear picture of the true devastation with the war and how people really suffered. I remember reading another book where I was made aware that there were certain kinds of rape going on, and that the children saw it, and it's really bad to hear such things happening. So, to what extent should a man be a man in suffering such tragic things? In a sense, you have to suffer the worst things ever to be considered the most manly person. But in a sense, you have to come back to show that you are a civil being, not just kind, but more to the point, reasonable and able to conduct yourself in a way as to show that your sanity always prevails, that your logic and your sanity are the key things, and then kindness comes thirdly. I like to see how many wonderful people are there out in the world who thrive as to purposefully manage things that I'm glad they do manage, and that's all I have to say.